I mention that Damien doesn't seem to play anywhere? This is where Damien plays. Who knew? Hello, welcome back. Let's turn on the Damien song. I haven't written anything today, so this is fine. Kind of weird that the song only seems to play here, maybe elsewhere, but Damien's song doesn't play that much because you really have very limited accounts. There's nothing you can do about it. I like your character mentions this, even though you've probably been here like a few times by now. I like how Damien's like a little ass if you knew, if you're like returning. I'm gonna put this a bit differently. Translating that directly is possible, but it doesn't carry the same intonation. That's funny, isn't it? Like, I mentioned this before, but if you can translate something directly, it doesn't necessarily actually translate directly, like, the intonation suddenly changes, that's always kind of neat to me. Ah, this is nice. I really like Damien's song. It's got a nice swang to it. It makes me extra sad that Damien doesn't seem to get much attention, and he dies. And there's nothing you can do to stop him from dying, which is really sad. Because I think he and Anne are like the only people you meet that you know are dead. Like the mechanic and the person in the park are like randos. Which is super weird. It's also really weird that the rando in the park is like this very green basic dragon in a sense. Very unusual. Very mysterious. That's like, oh, please. You know, where people say puh. It really translates well because it's the same word you're using the puh on. I like this. Oh, please. Of course I know who you are. But is that a reason to not have any manners, you arrogant little person? I don't know how to translate this. But it's supposed to be like, you arrogant thingamaboober, you know? It's supposed to be dismissive. About what? About your britches. I find it interesting that this actually gives him reason for pause. Let's take out the character graphics. Damien! Where is he? Like, to me, this kind of feels like Damien does feel something. Maybe he's just tired of it, but it's so odd that he has this kind of expression with it. Also, he's one of the flattest headed persons in the fucking game, and his head looks really big compared to his neck. It's a very unusual design. Like, the problem is it's very front-leaning. Like, there's nothing going on behind the neck. Like, a lot of these characters have, like, ears poking backwards, or horns, or fins. Something to give the back of the head some detail. And if you don't do that, they look very unbalanced. Like, it's kind of a balancing act. And when it's not done, it just looks... Like, even ears, like, tiny details are pointing backwards to give some volume to the back of the head. Which is where your fucking skull is. Like, if you look at the back of your head, like, it goes inward, and then it goes outward. Like, there's a little curve in your neck. Like, I appreciate that, Damien is kind of addressing a very serious concern, which is, why is everyone taking your word on this? Like, sure, human diplomatic connections, but at the same time, you can use it as an excuse for things, you know? It's a bit different. Like, should I believe that? Should I just believe that? As far as I know, you could be working with the killer and want to know if I have to be killed too. Like, he's a bit more rough about it. This, though, like, Jesus Christ, player character, have some nuance. And he's right. He's right to deny you that right. Like, the thing with his lawyer is, why would you need your lawyer? You're interrogated as a witness, not as, like, a convict. Like, he's not there to dish out punishment, he's just there to ask questions. Like, I understand that you don't want to implicate yourself, and it is kind of a minefield, but, you know, I still stand behind it. It's kind of a fucking bullshit deal that some person who doesn't even, like, have a badge comes up and starts asking these questions to you. Like, Jesus. The funny thing is we never see a dragon lawyer. That's kind of a thing we never really saw. Yeah, it's kind of a good point. The thing, of course, being that even if Anna is neutral... No, it's not neutral. Yeah, like, even with Anna, you can sort of convince her to work along with this. And apparently, some people said, like, the reason that Anna's such a bitch about it is she really, like, it's about her. You know, it's like her... She wanted this, she's into this. It's her deal. I think I'm gonna do the bad. I'm gonna do the bad one first, but that's so much work to do this in this section. The funny thing about this is that it's like, originally he wasn't gonna die. Like, what the fuck would this interview be about? Would you have Damien? Would you have Anna? And what would it really be about? Like, would Anna just always be cooperative if it was just about the break-in? Then again, Anna has all the reasons to not talk about the break-in because, you know, she has some shady stuff going on. I like how Anna's like, ooh. Ugh! Ah, my armor's still active, which is really early. Then again, I've been playing D&D this morning. I was the DM for the group for once. People seem to like it. They had a blast. It's gonna get better, because next time they're gonna get fucked. There's a lot of places they can go, which aren't horde rooms, but just big, mean things that are gonna tear them asunder. Which is always fun. On the plus side, they have a Wilder who has... I like how people are like, Wilders are crap, but then I'm like, wait, but if you have, like, Mind Thrust, you can get, like, 7d10 at level 5? Like, sure, you get dazed afterwards, but that's, like, you have a huge DC to deal with. Although it is a negation. But even then, you can use on things like needles, like the Swarm of Shards, which becomes 7d4. Like, holy crap, that's a really reliable damage range. Go, and she's like, go for it. You know, I'm gonna do the bad ones first, because I really don't want to deal with these. God damn, why am I doing that? Ah! Like, the funny thing behind this is if you resist questioning, you look really fucking suspicious, you know? Like, Damien at least is like, well, you're a human, how can I trust you? But Anna's just like, why, you can't ask me questions. That's not how that works. If you have a poor relationship with someone, and you are unwilling to cooperate with an investigation, you're looking super fucking suspicious. Like, it's like standing over their corpse with a bloody knife being like, I picked this up, and it's like, how the fuck are you gonna explain this? You have a poor relationship already. Now you're building a poor relationship with the police on this case. Good job. You're now at the top of the suspect list, even if you didn't do it. Like, it's going to be Reza, and then it's going to be the most likely fucking person to take advantage of the situation. Like, here's something else. Why wouldn't you be it and make it look like it was Reza? What if you just, like, here's the thing. He didn't use his gun. So it could have been anyone who used a knife. It's entirely possible that it was you, Anna, trying to get rid of a person that was blackmailing you in order to protect yourself. And you stole some parts to make it look like it was Reza. And you find him out in the... Like, cooperate! Don't resist the police, because it makes you so fucking suspicious in this matter. Like, holy shit. If you don't like the guy, you have all the more reason to cooperate, because, dear God, if anyone collaborates you don't like them, guess who's gonna be up on the fucking suspect list, because they didn't cooperate, and they have a motivation. If you have an alibi, okay, fine. But you have to tell them you have an alibi, and they have to collaborate that story, and if you're not cooperating, they can't collaborate it, because you're not confirming that it happened in the first place. Like, Like, yeah, it's like you already agreed to the test, which is kind of the weird part. Like, this is kind of like, I understand that, like, she's busy is, like, a somewhat valid excuse. But, yeah, no, you work in a government building. I'm pretty sure the government would be like, don't worry about those minutes. You know? Like, if you work for, like, a private industry, maybe you could be a little bit more, I'm busy, I can't afford this. And they could be like, okay, we'll do this later. But you work for the government, who would probably understand that you're taking a break to help with other government business, you know? Like, this facility is not privately owned. It's not your building, Anna. They can be like, you should have made a time for that. You should have fucking made time for that. And then they can scold you for it. Like, ugh. Also, they got some fun loot. They got a Book of Knowledge, which one of the roguish characters decided to nick for himself. I haven't told him what it does yet. All I've told him is the book's filled with knowledge you already know. The idea is you study the book for a minute, and then you get a +5 in the next knowledge check, and it works 3 times a day. So he's, like, studying it, probably thinking he's gonna find something cool in there. I might do something cool with that book, because I really do like artifacts of, like, knowledge, like forbidden knowledge. And there are also some zombies, like, the dungeon I generated had, like, a bunch of human zombies using eldritch powers. I got a good fucking plan for that, where they corrupt the book. That's gonna be fucking great. I'm gonna love that. Of course, he might watch this video, in which case, whoops! Oh, they're also gonna fight a skeleton, who is super, like, they have enough people in the party, they can take on level 6 challenges. So I'm gonna throw level 6 challenges at them. I'll fudge a couple of rolls if it gets bad. They're in a position that they're not likely to die. They got, like, I put, like, a super high level cleric, like, right outside the fucking door, so that if anything does go bad, the cleric's like, oh, god damn it, I don't want to resurrect you, I'm an evil cleric, I'm supposed to do mean stuff, and he just slams his fist, and he's like, you're alive! Alakazam, Alakazoo! Come alive, you stupid fool! And he waves his hands while he does it. They also got two backup party members. They got a guy who is, I really like this guy. So he's Githrazai, I think they're called Githzerai, and Githyanki. And he's basically a child of both of them. And he hates the shit out of Githyanki because they are warmongers who are not doing a lot good for his name. And he hates them. And he essentially is trained to use melee attacks. He wears gauntlets made of deep crystal so he can augment them with his powers. And he's a psychic rogue. So he's basically an assassin who really hates these people, who is effectively committing genocide. And he's only there because he was told there would be information in it for him. You can imagine this motherfucker is very, very bad in a city that features any Githyanki whatsoever. On the plus side, I plan to give him, like, a favorite enemy bonus because he knows them, and he's like, yeah! He also, like, that's a fun thing, is a player character who just irrationally hates someone is like a Rogue 2.0. He doesn't just hate them, he wants them gone no matter what. Like, not a lot of people know how to play that properly, because it's very hard to balance it, but it kind of makes sense that he'd walk up to people, and the first mistake is all it takes, you know? It's like that kind of racism. They also have a Troglodyte Cleric, who so far, I don't know how to use them. I really need to read more about Cleric spells, and know what kind of spells work well. I think I'm going to take Cloud of Knives. That's a fun one. I'll hit up someone with that one. Because the way Cloud of Knives works is you essentially get a free 1d6+1, I think. Cloud, and it lasts a couple of rounds, and every round you can just shoot one for free at any target. Which is really good in, like, crowd control methods, because it lets you shoot at targets for free every round, and then pile up the damage. Is there anything else? I don't think so. Yeah, but there's, like, a bunch of scrolls upstairs, like, they don't have to worry too much about supplies. Generally speaking, they also have a lot of leeway. Like, there's no major time limit. There's, like, a place outside they can stay. It's mostly to get them geared up. They got really good on the first roll. They got, like, several items that are worth, like, several thousand. Actually, I want to look something up now. The reference books. Beepity-boppity-boop. That's the Dungeon Survival Guide. I hate this. I hate this. So, Dungeon Master Guide Building a City, and, oh, Jesus Christ, like, so tightly compressed. I know exactly where the sidebar is, because I look up the sidebar all the fucking time, because it's kind of an important sidebar, is the encounter rate, which is how much shit you get out of an encounter. I think this is balanced per player? No. Expected wealth gain is 4,000. Okay, so that's a lot of money. Like, that was a great roll for them, all things considered, because they got, like, treasure. Each of them was, like, 1.5k plus. And up here, so I like this schedule too, is like this is how much harder it gets. And the reason is simple, is when you have to deal with a lot of enemies, they can attack you a lot at once, so their chances of getting criticals is higher. And because their chance of getting criticals is higher, they're more likely to fuck you up. Where's that sheet? Like, there's also a fun sheet that I really like, which is, experience gain. Where's that at? Where's it at? There was like a fucking sheet with like challenge ratings equated to levels. Where's it at? Like, where the fuck is this at? Oh, it also has like, oh, you wonder what is with the difficulty. Where the fuck is this at? I know this is here. Yeah, I can find it in the sidebars. I really like this. This is like a fucking sidebar thing. It's like, oh, this is how I want to do sidebars. Experience what? Is 40 fucking 1? Really? Oh, here we go. I think? Yeah, here it is. I like this table. I like this a lot. I love how at level 1, it's like you get this much. I really think the game wants you to get out of level 1 as fast as possible because it's one of the fastest levels you're going at. But at the same time, like, level 1 is really fucking stiff. Because the thing with level 1 is, you have no options. You have no money. You have no options. The most you can do is just hit things on the head a bunch of times. I also love this sheet. Oh, this is so great. It's like, how hard is something? Like, how much is one point? The point, like, 1 point is the difference between this. It's just really nice. I also love this. I love this one. Which is like the thing to the right is like the 50% chance. A 20th level ranger who's maxed out his survival skills and been fighting goblinoids, his favorite since level 1, has a 50% chance of somehow tracking a single goblin over a hard rock surface after it snowed the day before. Like, holy shit, that's amazing. Like, I really like this. And also love this one. Like a scarman on the other side of the wall. Ah, it's great. The village fool hustling at full speed at night. I love how fucking village fool can track 10 hill giants like that. He's like, oh, I'm going. Like, that's great. That's great. Oh, that's cute. But yeah, it's a 50% chance. You can always roll 1. You can always just get fucked. That's not what I'm supposed to show you. This is... Yeah, here you go. Let's go. Let's move on before I do something stupid. So I changed this a little bit. It's like, oh, the human has honored me with a visit. I'm a little busy, so give me a good reason to... It's a little bit more direct. I don't see why Anna's like, I don't know if I should make time. Like, I know it's a bit snarky, but at the same time, it's like, she kind of wants you around, so there's a reason for her to do this. Also, one quick question. No! It does not seem to care if you have actually given blood or not. Which is very unusual, because it mentioned that before. No wait, this should be... I like how she immediately just says, ah, goodbye. I appreciate that a lot of this is just like text from like random crap, so it's a little shorter than it should be. Although this one is kind of better, because here it's a lot more, hey, here it's like, sure, she's still suspicious, but there's enough inclination that she kind of wanted to cooperate that you could be like, well, it legitimately felt like she was busy, and she wanted me to help with something, you know? Like, you don't know what it's about. Like, it could be like, oh, you just want to help out, you know? Like with fucking Remy, where you have to earn that date, which is kind of weird. Man, you know, that's kind of the thing, isn't it? It's like you gotta know what you're dealing with. So here's this thing. I might as well show this. I use this generator to crank out like a blueprint, which is nice. I usually tweak them a bit. Like I add a couple of nooks and crevices, and I give a room with a splash of paint. It's like, oh, this is like here. There's like 11 kobolds. I'm like, okay, what kind of room is this? Like the first room inside the catacomb. That's probably the room they dump people they don't give a shit about. It's like, put the idiots here, you know. Now look at this room, and it's like, oh, it's empty, but it has this weird corridor, so this is like a room they were still working on. And then I look here, and it's like wandering monsters, so I pick like a wandering monster, like, oh, this is where wolf zombies are at. Like, a couple of wolves burrowed in here, and they got possessed by evil or something, and this was like a place they tried to dig something out. Sometimes I'll remove these tunnels altogether. I'm like, okay, like this passage, we don't need that passage. Bloop, it's gone now. Here there's a mega skeleton. I'm like, okay, this is weird alcove. Like, what if the mega skeleton was just buried in this alcove? Like, that it's a pet, and it's gotten out, so when the party comes in, they might see it. Like, they might see it with dark vision or something. And I'll be like, okay, you go in, and you see a giant skeleton, like, sitting in a fucking alcove. What's your move? And they're like, what is it? And then we're like, okay, the skeleton's kind of alive, you know? I forgot this part, though. And I also forgot this part. I'm not interested in this part. Like, they're in a temperate area. I'm not going to do this right now. But I'm going to do this one. But mostly not in this area. It's like everyone in the fancy places gets the fancy lighting. Natural stone. Might do that for, like, this area. Like, the unfinished parts. Like, but okay, you're walking in natural stone. Like, it's harder to walk here. I like how climbing comes in, because I don't think that ever generates anything where that matters. So I'm like, okay, this is like a place where there's a nice sarcophagus in the corner or something like that. Oh, that's where it decided to generate the fucking stairs? In the wall? That's great. Oh, I'm gonna put that in. I mean, look, okay, there's like a secret wall here. Like, you walk into a room and it's empty. It's like suspiciously empty. It's so empty, in fact. It's empty. There's a lot of doors. There's a lot of things going on in this room, but there's nothing going on. It's kind of weird, isn't it? Kind of nudge him. And here's like there's a wraith. Could be like, oh, this is a place with like a nice fountain, or it's like someone who really wanted a nice grave, but the wraith was like, god damn it, this room ain't good enough for me. And for some reason, every single trap it generated in this one fucking hallway. So this is like the trapped hallway for some reason. There's another mummy. I don't know what I'm gonna do with that. It also has this alcove, so it could just be like that's what the fucking mummy sarcophagus looks like. And then I got a couple of monsters I can sprout around, like the vampire spawn, like. Had a vampire master. Master's away, and he's still possessed. He's like, god damn it, I'm going nuts. And there's one for the book and all that. And your Chimera skeleton. Could probably fit that somewhere in here or something. Like in one of these empty rooms. Like, here's a Chimera skeleton. Pretty tough one. I think it's level 5. It's level 5. That's kind of hard. Bugbear zombie could be in the hallway. Like, they're in here, and they triggered the traps by accident or something. That'd be cool. That'd be fun, at least. And sometimes I'd say, okay, I don't want this. I don't care about the zombie skeletons, kobolds. I've already fought them, and it wasn't that great. You know, you get my point. So I take these things as a blueprint, just like I do with my bogies. Is I generate a blueprint in the background, but I don't do much with it. Like, I use it as a background of like, okay, this is what that character is. Okay, she has like a whole lot of charisma. She's very smart. She's very intelligent. Or he's kind of dumb, but at the same time, he is very aware of his environment. So you can't sneak up on him, but you can't fool him. You know, like, there's a weakness to him that someone intelligent might exploit. The reason they're there, by the way, is... I'm not going to spoil this, because, just in case they're watching, they're hired by someone to find something for them inside the dungeon that is in his backyard, which is not his family, which is a series of circumstances that Hero's like, eh. He also lives in an estate, not inside a city, which is an unusual place for a noble to just be hanging out, you know? It's like, I'm living in the middle of nowhere, for no particular reason. I don't need infrastructure, go fuck yourself. I love it. It's gonna be great. They already seem to like it. They seem to have fun. And I got to put on some fun voices. Everyone was happy. Oh, you. I need to take a breather. Like, I really feel like I should do a fucking longer sort of podcast about that, but I don't know questions, so it would better be off as like a stream. Like, I pick a very low demanding game, and I put on a stream, and I just ask some questions. Although I don't have any audiences. I have like 1,000 subscribers, and someone's like, well, you have 1,000 subscribers, where's your comments and your likes? And I'm like, I don't know. Like, I don't like videos that much, so I'm part of the problem, I guess. I should participate more to the people that I really like. I sometimes do. When I usually comment, it's usually on either a video that's really good, or on someone that usually doesn't get any attention. I like how this tiny tweaks also force me to think about my writing. It's like a good writing exercise for me. It's a little bit more interesting for the people that are playing this fucking game instead of getting, oh, like, if you play this, you get the same text for so many of these variations. I understand it's extra effort for something that no one will see, because if you're on good terms with Anna, you're probably going to get the neutral one on the next time. Or not. No, you'd probably be on good terms at this point, because, you know, you're trying to keep her alive. Cooperation. I need to use American. Nah, I'm gonna keep it. Too bad I can't dissect it too well. Whatever. I love how sassy she is with this, though. Like, at this point, like I said before, if you don't cooperate, you look suspicious. Anna doesn't look suspicious because she has a good reason not to like you. It's not about Damien, it's about you being an ass. And the police is like, well, it does make her sort of suspicious to not be cooperating, but at the same time, if this was a serious concern, why didn't you fucking tell us? We could have said someone you would have cooperated with. Toodles! I like this. I like this one. That went everything except right. I should try it somewhere. Look somewhere. I should try it somewhere else. I like how she's just no. Neutral is actually good, and it's really awkward that it is. I like this a bit more. I think I'm going to use this one for the other one and swap them out. Because this one's like, is this important to you? Which is kind of something she would ask you. Like, is this important to you? Because she likes you at this point. So she has an inclination to be like, oh, is this important to you? Like, do you? No. It's a bit of a twist. He's like, certainly, Anna. Well, sort of. It's like, I'm certain, but not really. There we go. I think I'm done for today. We've been at this for a little nice while. And now we're at a completely different segment, which is nice. Nice part to choke it up. Let's make sure that I got all the options that are relevant at this point. Okay, these are all just the questions. Okay, these are relatively short, so that's something we can do in a video. Analytical. Oh! Fuck, I know the perfect one. You know the term analog? No, I need to do this right. Analog, yeah, there we go. You want to know, see what this looks like? And here's the fun part. There's a really common joke, which is where loch is the past term of lie. Let me put it like this. Lied. So a very common joke is what it means or something like that, and they're like, oh well, Anna lied, you know. So what you can do is you can say Anna didn't lie, and that's the joke. It's like, oh, you interrogated Anna. Anna didn't lie. Anna loog niet. Which sounds kind of snazzy. I like it. Oh man, I love it. Ahead of time. Ooh, that feels good. I'm flexing. Ooh, flex with me. We got the joke muscles pumping. Oh, I completely fucking forgot that Anna has a different music going on. Whoops. She has Jazzy 2 going on at this point. Let's turn on Jazzy 2 for a moment and enjoy the music. Oh, this song. Okay, I'll turn this back on next time.
Remember that, future me.